Which accidental negligent discharge was clearly intentional? Kuwait, 2009. We were doing pre-deployment weapons training at a range outside our base. My squad was running live fire drills with our new lieutenant, Preston Caldwell. Caldwell was fresh out of officer training, 23 years old, never deployed. Thought he knew everything because he'd read some manual. The range safety officer was Staff Sergeant Holden Pierce, 20 years in the Army, combat veteran. Took safety seriously because he'd seen what happens when people get careless. We're halfway through the exercise when Caldwell decides to show off. Starts walking down the firing line while weapons are hot. Pierce immediately calls ceasefire. Sir, you need to stay behind the safety line, Pierce says firmly. Caldwell waves him off. I'm observing my soldiers. Need to see their technique up close. Negative, sir. Nobody walks the line during live fire. That's basic range protocol. I could see Caldwell's face turn red. He didn't like being corrected by an NCO in front of enlisted soldiers. Sergeant, I'm the officer here. I'll observe however I see fit. Pierce keys his radio. All shooters, weapons on safe. Clear your chambers. Range is cold. Everyone stops shooting. Caldwell looks furious. I didn't authorize a cold range. I did, sir. As range safety officer, I have authority to call cold range for any safety violation. The tension was thick. Caldwell was embarrassing himself, but he was too proud to back down. Fine. Range is cold. Everyone take 5. We set our weapons down, started drinking water. Caldwell pulled Pierce aside for what looked like a heated conversation. We couldn't hear what they were saying, but Caldwell was pointing his finger in Pierce's face. 5 minutes later, Caldwell announces we're going hot again. Pierce looks uncomfortable, but calls the range hot. We resume firing. That's when Caldwell does something unbelievably stupid. He walks onto the range, not behind the firing line, onto the actual range, starts walking toward the targets while we're shooting. Pierce sees it immediately. Cease fire! Cease fire! His voice cracks with urgency, but 2 soldiers don't hear him over their gunfire. They're still shooting. Weapons pointed downrange where Caldwell is now standing. I watch Pierce make a split-second decision. He raises his rifle, points it at a 45-degree angle away from everyone, and fires 3 rounds into the dirt berm on the side of the range. The gunshots right next to the firing line make everyone stop immediately. Total silence except for ringing ears. Caldwell is standing 50 feet downrange, frozen. Finally realizes what he just did. His face goes white. Pierce lowers his weapon. Negligent discharge. My fault. Got startled and accidentally squeezed the trigger. His voice is completely calm. Nobody believes him. Pierce is the most careful soldier I've ever seen. He doesn't make mistakes like that, but his negligent discharge stopped everyone from shooting. Probably saved Caldwell's life. The range master comes running over. What happened? I had an ND, sir, Pierce says. Lieutenant Caldwell was walking to check a target malfunction. I got nervous seeing movement downrange and my finger slipped. Caldwell stands there silent. He knows Pierce is covering for him. If anyone reports what really happened, Caldwell's career is over. Walking onto a hot range is grounds for immediate relief of command. The range master documents Pierce's negligent discharge. Pierce gets an Article 15, loses a stripe, gets reduced from staff sergeant to sergeant, 2 weeks extra duty, never once changes his story, takes full responsibility. Caldwell gets transferred to a desk job 3 weeks later, quietly reassigned before deployment. We get a new lieutenant who actually listens to his NCOs. I corner Pierce after the Article 15 hearing. Everyone knows what really happened. He shrugs. What happened is I had a negligent discharge. That's what the paperwork says. You saved that idiot's life and lost rank for it. Better than him losing his life. His family gets to keep their son. Worth a stripe. But Pierce wasn't done. 2 months later, the full story leaked somehow. Someone sent an anonymous letter to the battalion commander detailing everything Caldwell had done. Video footage from the range cameras backed it up. Caldwell got court-martialed for reckless endangerment and lying in an official report. Kicked out with an other than honorable discharge. Pierce got his rank back. Commander personally pinned the stripe on him during formation. Sometimes, the commander said, doing the right thing means taking the hit yourself. That's what leaders do. Pierce still has that Article 15 in his file though. Keeps it as a reminder. I asked him once if he regretted it. Losing rank, the humiliation, the punishment for something that wasn't his fault. He thought about it for a second. I sleep fine at night. That's worth more than rank. Pierce retired as a sergeant major 5 years ago. Caldwell works at a car dealership in Ohio. The guys who were on that range still talk about it. How Pierce fired 3 rounds that saved a life and destroyed his own career, at least temporarily. That negligent discharge was the most intentional thing I've ever seen.